Hi, I'm John from Sun Prairie, and as I walk around campus or the city, I see lots and lots of different human body shapes, head sizes, head shapes, all these different configurations of humans. So my question is, when scientists find a new fossil and it's only slightly different than a different fossil, how do they determine if it's a different species or just a variation on an old species?
I'm John Hawks. I'm a paleoanthropologist at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. When we look in nature today and we ask, how do we know that things are different species? Usually we think of that question in terms of interbreeding. We look at populations that maybe they look different from each other, maybe they look similar, but we can ask, do they ever interbreed with each other? Do they encounter each other in nature? In paleontology, we don't have that option. When we're looking at species in the past, we can never examine directly whether they could interbreed. And so we have to go by what they look like. We have to go by their physical form. Our team working in South Africa with Lee Berger found a new species of hominin. We were working in a remote cave called the Rising Star Cave, and we found an incredible collection of bones that represent the whole anatomy of what we think is a previously unknown species. We called that species Homo naledi. You ask, how did we know that that was a new species and not something that we'd found before? When we looked across the whole skeleton, we find that there are parts, like the skull, which resemble in a lot of ways species that we know about. For example, the skull looks like Homo erectus, but it's much smaller. It has a smaller brain than any Homo erectus that we've found. And when we look at the rest of the skeleton, we find parts that resemble other hominin species. So the feet and lower legs resemble modern humans. The hips resemble earlier hominins that we call Australopithecus. That mixture of features we'd never found before. And when we looked more closely, we found that there were features in the Homo naledi skeleton that we'd never seen before in any hominin. For example, the thumb and the thigh bone have some features that we've never seen before. So that combination of things made us really confident that we're looking at something that we'd never found before. So that's how we diagnose on the form a new species. We have to show that the new things that we've found are outside the range of what we've seen before. And that gives us some confidence that we're looking at something that's really new. It's a lineage that was lost to us before that now we've found.